Hello, my friends. Ellie Shostak here. Hope you are doing well. And I'm excited about today's live training because this is a concern that pops up often in the people who I work with, because what they'll say is that they have a difficulty when it comes to dating somebody else who has different political beliefs than they have. Okay, so this is something that has come up often in the group when people will ask me, "Okay, Ellie, so I get it. I like this girl, I like this guy, and I want to take things to the next level, but I can't go out with him because he's a Republican. I can't go out with her because she's a Democrat. I can't go out with..." And what winds up happening is people will preclude themselves from dating others who have a different political belief than they have. Okay? And what it does is it very much limits your pool of people whom you can go out with. Because what you wind up doing is you say, I am actually going to stop myself from getting involved with anyone who thinks differently than I do when it comes to politics. So this is a major, major concern for singles. Singles who have been individuals who've been single for many years, or divorcees. Sometimes people will get divorced, and a lot of it had to do with this different political belief that they had with their ex. Oh, he was a Republican, or she was a Democrat, or he was too conservative, or she was too liberal. In fact, one person commented when they joined the group, they said, well, the obstacle that I face is that I'm a political conservative, and I want to know how to overcome that. And that's the reason why I am doing this live training for you right now, which you can watch at a later time. Because this one obstacle of how do I date somebody with a different political belief, actually, if we are able to overcome it, you will see that it will wind up helping you in many other areas as well. Okay? So, if you're here and you're joining me for today and you have any questions about the training, please feel free to ask. And I see some of my group members on the call, on the training. And if not, you can always ask me afterwards. So let's get started. Okay? So first, we need to establish that what is our goal? Okay? So first we establish our goal. Our goal is to get into a healthy relationship with someone that we love. Okay? So we have you, and we have the relationship that you want to get into. So this is you, and this is the relationship. 1 becoming 2. So you're on the road, and you've begun to date the person. Now, I'm going to assume here that this is a relationship you've already begun. Okay? Because if you haven't begun the relationship, this training will help you as well. But if you haven't begun the relationship, you basically have said, I'm not going out with anyone who is like that, who believes in that. I'm not going to go out with anyone who feels this way about politics in this regard. So if you've already precluded yourself from that base of people, fine. This training will help you, but we need to assume that you have covered the fact that you're attracted to this person. There are a lot of other things that fit your checklist of what you want to have in a relationship. But this one concern of the fact, and it's not one, of the fact that she thinks differently than me politically, or he thinks differently than I do politically, is something that's taking place after you've already begun to see that you really like the person. So you're on the road, and you hit this stumbling block of politics. Now, if you're watching from a different country, and your parties are different than ours here in the States, Democrat, Republican, and Libertarian, and all the other parties that we have, but the two major ones, then you can just replace the names that I use, because it really is all the same. And that actually might piss off some people who are watching this, because when I say it's really all the same, they'll say in their minds, what do you mean it's not all the same? Everyone has different feelings and ideas about their country and how it should run. And okay, I get it. That's your mind. So let's just deal with, how do we get what we want? How do we get what we want? And if we want to be in that healthy relationship, and we find that politics is the stumbling block, the question that we first need to ask is, okay, we've hit the issue. Now I need to know, excuse me, first thing that I ask myself when we're encountering an issue is why? Why do I have this issue? So there are usually two reasons why people have the issue of a different political party that bothers me. There's usually two of these issues. The first issue is fear. I'm afraid that if I get involved with someone who thinks differently than me politically, then it will cause me to have many arguments. A very valid fear. I am afraid that if I get involved with someone who thinks differently than me politically, then if we have children together in the future, then they will raise our children in the way that they believe politically, and that is against my belief politically. Okay? So, two fears. I'm going to get into arguments, and if we go further down the line and we wind up getting married or we have children, well, I got into a lot of fights with my ex because of, and by the way, I'm just talking about hypothetically, I've been married 17 years plus, and to the same amazing woman, and still going strong, and she lets me and allows me to be me in these trainings. So, doesn't let me, but I'm very fortunate in that regard. And a lot of the things that I incorporate with my wife in terms of beliefs and how to deal with different beliefs is what I bring to the table with my work with clients and in my work with you. So it's actually proven stuff that works. So if I have those two fears of what's going to happen because we're going to get into conflicts because of politics, or what's going to happen to my kids, that if I was divorced because of having different political beliefs and she's trying to raise them with these types of beliefs, or he's trying to raise them with these type of beliefs, I can't have that again. Okay, so I get it. That's a valid fear that you're worried about. And the real reason that you're worried about it is because it's going to cause me pain. It's going to cause me emotional pain. And no one likes to get burnt again and again. No one likes to experience pain. It's just something that no one wants to go through. And when the mind sees that this is going to cause me to have pain, what it winds up doing is it says, I'm out. She has a different political system than me, I'm out. He's a staunch Republican, I'm out. Okay? So, now that we've established your why is this an issue for you? The reason why it's an issue for you is because of fear. I really hope that you can see this. It's hard to tell because I have comments popping up on my phone as I record this, which I might have to remove so I could see if you could see this. Okay. Awesome. So, hi guys. I'm just waving at you to see if this shows up. Okay, so you could all see. You have a fear. That's your why. You see the roadblock and you are like, OMG. I don't know what to do. I'm so afraid that she is different than me. I'm so afraid that he is different than me. In this regard, I'm going to experience pain. So I am going to, even though I think that this is a good relationship in other areas, I'm attracted to this person, we get along, and by the way, I have to assume that you're not dating a nominee for the presidential race, right? Because then politics will really come into play in your life. But assuming it's the average individual that just has a different political system than you, you're afraid you're going to experience pain. Okay? So now what we have to do, and this is tough work, but not so tough once you get it. So I really hope that you get it. Once you understand why you are afraid when you hit that stumbling block of politics, what you then need to do is you need to write down the word. I hope that you guys can see this. How. Okay, so I have my stumbling block right over here, right? How am I going to get rid of this stumbling block so that I can be in the relationship of my dreams? I can be in that healthy relationship. So we established our goal. Our goal, we want to be in a healthy, loving, kind, fun, easygoing relationship. We want to go from here to there. Oh, we got a stumbling block. Politics. She thinks differently than me. He thinks differently than me. What am I going to do? Why am I having this? I'm afraid. I'm afraid I'm going to experience pain, arguments. Oh, you say this, I say that. I can't believe it. Can you look what Trump did? I can't believe what Trump did. Can you look what the Democrats did? I can't believe what they did. Blah, 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 right? The fights. Okay. So, we need to ask ourselves, how? How am I going to go through this? Okay? So I'm going to put this up. This is the World of Magic. Let's see if you guys can still see that. Okay? I think you can. Alright? Can you still see that? Let me just see. Yeah. Cool. Alright? So now we have two smart boards working for us. The magic of paper. So now we're up to how. How am I going to get through this obstacle? So first we need to understand that what are beliefs? What are beliefs? I hope I spelled that right. I before E, except after C. Okay? Beliefs. Beliefs about politics. And we're just going to talk about politics for now. I could spend hours talking about any type of belief. And this really holds true for any type of belief. A belief is a thought that you replay in your mind over and over and over again until you don't even have to think about it anymore. It becomes a part of your, and this is huge, so get this down, folks, and I would take notes if I were you. When we play that belief over and over again, when we play that belief, that thought over and over again, eventually the thought is so strong and it's played on a loop so many times, it becomes who we are. Okay? I'm going to give you an example. So, if I grow up let's just say I was born today, okay? If I was born today and I grew up in a nursery that had a picture of Donald Trump right on the wall, okay? And every day that I looked at this picture of Donald Trump, one of my parents would come in to my nursery and they would tell me, Ellie, I want you to look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump is our savior. Donald Trump is the key to success in life. He is a Republican. Republicans bring you success. Now, mind you, I was just born. So I'm seeing my picture of Donald, okay? And now the thought starts to begin to play as a baby in my brain. Donald Trump equals success. Now, I know that some of you on this call might be puking at this point, okay? And please take a vomit bag and you can puke right in there. That's totally fine. But there are some of you on this call who are watching that say, actually, he is the epitome of success. Look what he's accomplished and has gone so far. So, two different people, same picture, two very different thoughts. Do you understand? So now I've carried that belief all the way through up until 25 years from now, okay? Where I'm now beginning to date, and again, I have in my brain, Donald Trump is the key to success. And by the way, I'm going to do the other side in a minute. Donald Trump is the key to success. So now I start to date someone, and things are going great. Fantastic. And she says to me, you know, I'm just curious, like, can you tell me what your thoughts are? Are you a Republican or a Democrat? And I'm like, what? You have to ask me that? Of course I'm a Republican. And she's like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm like, well, what are you? Well, I'm a Democrat, and we've been Democrats for years. We believe in really all their policies. Okay, my brain right now starts to get very, very nervous, and I want to cry. Okay, I'm in massive pain here. Why? Because my beliefs, which are my thoughts that have been playing since I was a child, have become my identity, and now my identity is being threatened by someone who I love. Do you follow? For those of you watching, give me a thumbs up if you follow what I just said. Your identity is threatened, and when your identity is threatened, that's when you want to break up and say, I'm not going to date anyone like that. Now, for those of you who saw my Trump example, I am going to give you a completely different example, just so that you understand it works on both sides. So, if I was born today, okay, and I had a picture in my nursery of Joe Biden, and my parents told me, I want you to know that Joe Biden is the key to success. Because of him, we and all of our families for generations are going to be safe. We love Democrats. We love them. What would be happening right now? 25 years later, my thoughts keep playing, right? Democrats, 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 love Democrats, 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 right? I'm looking for Democrats, and I'm looking for things that fall in alignment with my thoughts, which has become my identity. I don't just believe in Joe Biden. I believe in the entire democratic system. This is democracy. This is what we're all about. Do you understand? Okay, that's the way people get. When I date that person and they go ahead and they say to me, well, I look like we're getting along fine. Can you tell me about your beliefs? And I say, well, you have to ask me. You know that I'm a Democrat. And then the person goes, uh-oh. I'm like, what? Well, I'm a Republican, and my whole family's Republicans. And then my mind starts to say again, OMG, here I have an amazing relationship. Here I have an amazing situation. But because my brain has been playing the thought of, I love Joe Biden, I love Democrats for years and years and years and years. When I am in this dating situation, when everything else is good, okay? I'm not talking about a dating situation where you have found 8 million things wrong with this person and you don't want to go out with them and one of them happens to be political beliefs. No, I'm not talking about that. I am talking about a dating situation which you are in, which you really, really like this person. You find this person to be attractive. You find this person to be kind, compassionate, and nice, but they're a Democrat. But they're a Republican. That's what I am talking about. That situation, the reason why, okay, and you guys can all see this, right? We want to know why we have this fear. We have this fear because we're afraid we're going to experience pain. Well, now we need to figure out how do we get through this. So now that we understand that the reason why we are thinking we're going to experience pain is because of our thoughts, our beliefs. I am a this. I am a that. I am a this. And by the way, a little plug here. In my Find the Right One coaching program, this is exactly what we cover in week 3. Identifications in the brain. Okay? And it's one of my clients' favorite weeks. Because we all have different thoughts playing in our heads of I am a this, I am a that, I am a this. So when you have your thought, I am a this, and you meet somebody else who has an I am a that, and the two get together, and you believe the I am a this so much, and she or he believes the I am a that so much, what winds up happening is you say, well, not for me. I can't deal with this. I'm out. I can't deal with this. Because your identity is so connected to that political belief that you want out. So now, are you ready for how to overcome the fear of she has or he has a different political belief than I do? This is tough stuff, man, but we got to get through this, okay? So here's how. The first thing that we need to do is realize that all this crap is going on in our mind. That's the first thing. That in itself, most people, 9 out of 10 people, have no clue that this is how their mind is working. Most people don't understand why they experience the pain that they're experiencing. Most people have no idea that the reason why they have stumbling blocks in their relationships, the reason why they hit all those X's, the reason why they hit is because their mind is thinking in a certain way. And just being aware is step 1. Okay? So step 1 is to notice. Okay? Notice that this is how your mind is thinking. By the way, this has absolutely nothing to do with the other person who believes differently than you do. It's all you. It's always all you. And the reason why I named the Find the Right One coaching program Find the Right One is because the entire world thinks that the one is out there. I'm going to find her. I'm going to find him. I am going to make this happen. I will be complete. That is crap. You are the right one. Okay? Once you establish that in your brain and you realize how your brain works, you will then be able to find the one that you want to be with. And this is the way how. Notice that this is going on. Okay? Step 1, notice. Step 2. Can you see that? I think you can. Just make sure. Yeah. Step 2. Question. Question your minds. Question your minds. Question your, and this is scary. I'm not going to lie to you. This is scary stuff. Question your beliefs. Okay? So if I have the belief in my brain, the only way to be successful is to be a Republican, I can look at my thought and go, is that true? The answer? No. You guys all know that, okay? If I have the thought in my brain, the only way to live a happy life is if I'm a Democrat. And I have that thought. Even if I've had that thought playing for years, I look at the thought and I question it. Is that true? No. That in itself begins the process of releasing your thoughts from your identity. You're now beginning to detach from all these thoughts that you think are you. They're not you. I'm here to tell you, they are not you. You are not your thoughts. Now, who you are and what you are is a topic for another completely different training. Now we're just focusing on getting you through this obstacle of how do I date someone with different political beliefs than me. So, what you need to do is question your thoughts. This will remove the attachment from the identity of I am a Republican, I am a Democrat, I am a this, I am a... Who are you? What are you? And this is the great thing. I got to tell you this. I was having a meeting around 3 weeks ago with someone who was going off on how bad the Democrats were for about an hour, okay? And she really could not tell what I believed. She felt so comfortable telling me how bad the Democrats were. Well, the week after, I had a meeting with someone else who was going off on how bad Trump is and the Republicans are. And they were going off for 45 minutes. And neither of them knew what I believed when it came to my politics. And if any of you out there want to know what I believe of what I am, here's what I am.